Episode 9.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the top? Well, if so, buckle up and hold on. It's time once again for So You Want to Sell on eBay with your hosts, Ron LeBeau and Ali Young.
Creating an eBay store these days is not that difficult a task. Creating a custom eBay store is. So if you're thinking of starting an eBay business, or even if you're a titanium power seller, let the professional team at AuctionProTemplates.com create a custom eBay store for you. Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
I'm Ali Young.
I'd like to thank our guest, Liz Brazier, for joining us today. Thank you for coming, Liz.
It's great to be on. Thanks so much.
Yeah, great to have you here, Liz. It's going to be great talking to you.
All right, the pressure's on. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
She is an accountability coach for entrepreneurs that help them get the right stuff done in their business and supercharge their productivity. After 20-plus years in corporate IT sales, she started her own business as an international-based accountability coach, productivity strategist, and podcast host. She demonstrates her beliefs around freedom, flexibility, balance, and control by inspiring you to take action, get the right stuff done, and not wait for someday to live your life now. She works with busy entrepreneurs throughout the world to get them focused so they can take action in all areas of their life. Liz, we've touched base just briefly on you. Please tell us anything you'd like to share with our listeners about you personally or professionally.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Well, probably should cover the fact, because I'm talking, that I have an accent. So, yes, originally from New Zealand, also an American citizen, so I live between both those countries, and that's all about, Ron and Ali, following the sun. So I'm kind of not a big fan of winter. Done my time. So about November this year, you will see me heading south to New Zealand, and, in the April time frame, I'll head back to the U.S., so that's a little bit about me.
Do you take your American accent to New Zealand with you? Or what do? You flip and flop?
There's a few words like process or water or something. I try, that's a little bit more Americanized, but I'm a Kiwi. I was 30 when I moved here, so you can't get rid of that accent.
No, you don't want to get rid of it either. You should be proud of it.
Oh, Ali, you are the charmer, and you're right.
Yeah, I know. For so long now, we've always been having these Americans on the show. It's nice to feel a bit British.
That's right. Although I am half American, I have a passport, so watch out. Don't you talk too much smack about my country.
That's cool. So we always like to talk about some impact people. We always like to get the show started this way. It sort of lets us know a bit more and sort of gets the topic going. So do you have an impact person, someone along your travels, sort of someone who sort of helped you along the way, given you advice and sort of got you where you are today?
I mean, I think sort of in the entrepreneurial world, which I've only been in it for about 15 or 18 months since I left the 23 years in the corporate world. So in the entrepreneurial world, and it was in March of 2014, I met Chris Ducker in the Philippines. So we'll keep this episode, international. Chris is an English guy, but lives in the Philippines. And he was a real impact for me around the thought or the mindset of be the brand of you, really be yourself. And I had been in the corporate world for a long time, worked for some great companies, but I didn't really have to have so much clarity on who I was as a brand. And then I also, launched into the entrepreneurial world, and you look around, there's so many inspiring people, there's so many inspiring companies, and you sort of your voice can get lost because you're trying to learn about, search engine optimization or WordPress blogs or podcasting. So Chris Ducker really made me think about who am I and what is the brand of me, and just be yourself.
Yeah, that's great. And so did you, when you say you launched into the entrepreneur world, did you sort of leave your job first, your corporate job, and then go into the entrepreneur, or did you sort of run them both side by side to start with?
Yeah, great question. I actually did something that's probably highly unwise, and I quit my corporate world. To me, it was breaking the umbilical cord. I had to break it for me to actually do something, because I think otherwise I would have just kept going. And a big catalyst for me was going back to New Zealand as my parents are getting older. So I just left. Didn't really know what I was going to do. Had belief that something would figure something out. But yeah, that was my journey.
Well, kudos to you. That's awesome to hear, because there's a lot of people out there in the corporate world now. I mean, it's pretty bold to do that, but sometimes those people are the most successful. So kudos to you, Liz. So we want to talk now just a little bit about a failure, right? Because every business that starts has a failure moment or moments, and it's how we get through those moments that make us stronger. So if you could share with our listeners a moment that didn't kind of go exactly how you thought it should, or maybe something that that failed for you, and how did you recover from that?
I love this question because I always want to answer only one.
Yeah, right.
I mean, for me, let me see, 14 months into it, really the first 6 months were, I would consider a failure from a point of view, not a lot of revenue was coming in, and I was trying to put coaching packages together to help stressed out corporate computer executives, but I really was getting no sales and no traction. And I think it was just because it was pretty vanilla. It wasn't really clear. It was kind of around executive coaching. What does that mean? Or stop waiting for someday, I think was something else, or life-changing challenges or something. I just, I was throwing a lot of things at the wall, which I think is always a great idea. I mean, from a point of view of taking action, at least you're trying something. But I really couldn't get anyone to sign up. It was just like, oh, great, this online world, there is a lot of noise out there. And for me, what helped change that was actually starting to meet people face-to-face. But it was interesting in this online world. It's great, gives us lots of flexibility. But you also got to get out there and look people in the eye and meet them face-to-face.
Absolutely. And, this whole thing about get rich quick, I think we're all finding out that it probably doesn't exist, right? I mean, you really have to kind of get in there and actually do something. So, I mean, it just work hard, everyone. I mean, that's really the key to success, right?
Yeah, and you don't know people's backstory. I mean, there will be someone that, kicks it out of the park within a number of months or a year, but you don't know their backstory that got them that experience. And then, yes, for many of us, it's a 4 or 5 year, I don't want to say battle, because, it's not like there's some great things as well, but it is definitely a topsy-turvy with lots of there's it's not a straight path down the road, that's for sure.
Yeah. And did you ever think of going back to the corporate world when that sort of wasn't working in those first 6 months?
No, never.
No. I'm not that desperate.
No, I mean, I appreciate the money, but freedom and flexibility were a big part for me. And I also had saved up. I don't have any children, or I'm not married. So, I had some flexibility or, less commitments. So that definitely gave me it's given me some breathing space.
That's great. It's great to see so many people doing that, because we've had a lot of guests on this show who have done exactly the same as you. They've worked in a corporate world. They weren't as insane where they were, I'm quitting everything and then we're starting but they certainly, they wanted to give up that working for someone else and getting out there and finding who they really were, living their dreams and finding their goals. It's great to hear.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
So having talked about the failure, I mean, obviously now we need to talk about success. Has there been something that's been, yes, this is it, I'm heading down the right road? Have you had a good success story?
Yeah, no, I mean, the whole focus around getting the right stuff done and being an accountability coach is really paying clients come my way. But just recently, one of the multi-six-figure online entrepreneurs hired me to be the accountability coach for her 9-month mastermind program.
Nice.
And that was great to see someone that's extremely established, winning, young enterprise, young entrepreneurial awards, and multiple six-figure business was, investing me and putting me in front of her client base for a high-level mastermind program. So I think that just added to the fact that I am seen as someone that, even though maybe new into this world, I've come with a lot of experience and I can add value.
And it'll only get better from there. I mean, obviously, a lot of what we're doing here is referrals, right? So once your name gets out with that mastermind coaching, only the best for you. So what kind of future plans do you have? I mean, you're taking this mastermind and you're going to increase that, or you're going to do more coaching, or what are you going to do in the future here?
Yeah, definitely going to do more coaching. I have been approaching some other, high-level entrepreneurs. I've met in person at the Podcast Movement Conference or different conferences about any of their signature online programs or masterminds. I could be, work alongside with them. So that's sort of part of my growth plans. But I'm also starting a second business too on the side, because I do think it's great to diversify. And I truly want to be a business owner and not, say, trading time for money around coaching. I think coaching is great. I think it's important because you do hear directly one-on-one from people you're helping, like what they need. But I also, I love diversification. So I'm starting a business with a business partner, and it's a completely different field where we are teaching mums and kids to grow organic salad greens easily. And they're like a
wow.
Yeah.
That's diversification there, I'll tell you.
Exactly. But want to keep
That's
it simple.
Great. So would they need a lot of land, or will they? How does that work? Yeah,
we want to keep it really easy. It's called Easy Greens Garden, and basically you can do it with a milk crate and a soil bag, and you can plant. So and this we will upsell to raised beds or different things, But we want to keep it simple. It really isn't that difficult. And I'm the beginner gardener, so trust me. Clueless, and I have 3 soil bags in my little backyard. I don't have a big place here on the Jersey Shore, so they're starting to sprout, and it's pretty cool. And I think we're going to make a difference in people's life around health. So that's my other business. Oh, and I am also coming out with an online course, which is going to be called, I would appreciate your feedback on this, Take Time Out of Your Business Guilt-Free, or Take Tuesday Afternoon Off Guilt-Free. So
I like that. Yeah.
So what's that going to be about? That's going to be about taking a time out, sort of spending time with yourself, sort of thing, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like it'll be called the Productivity Master Plan, but I wanted to give it a name so you can conjure up how you truly want to feel. Because talking with entrepreneurs, they want that freedom and flexibility. So it will be helping you put a structure and schedule in place. That means you can take time out of your business guilt-free, because so many entrepreneurs are working even more than 50 hours, and that's not what I hear they go into it for. Yes, they go into for results and money, but they go into it for lifestyle.
True. And, and so just because you're working 8 hours a week doesn't mean you're being productive those 80 hours. So
no.
I'm a firm believer in taking time off for yourself and spending time with your family, because family does sacrifice, right? In my situation, I've got a wife and 3 kids here, and I've got 2 older kids as well. And, if you don't spend the time with them, then it's really for nothing, right? So you have to kind of make sure that you are productive in the time that you're spending in your business as well.
Absolutely. All about focus and the right priorities. And that's what I love working with clients for. This whole busy work, busy is BS. I mean, we're all busy, but it's the right priorities.
I like what Chris Brogan said at Podcast Movement. We're not busy, we're blessed.
I totally agree.
So how do you maintain your time then? Because this is a common question. Suddenly now you're this entrepreneur, you're doing all these wonderful things, but it's going a bit mad. I mean, how do you control? Okay, I'm doing this job today, I'm doing that tomorrow. Do you write stuff down? I mean, what's your sort of plans with all this?
I'm a big believer in that whole blocks of time. So every 2-hour blocks of time when I'm working on something specific. I'm a big believer in closing the X out. That's the X, that top right of your computer. The email, social media. Put my phone on silent and turn it upside down, or put it away from you. But the whole blocks of time, and I actually put it into categories, because I get overwhelmed with the whole to-do list. And some people listening here won't have a to-do list, but I recommend having a to-do list, but then separating it into some categories. And I separate mine into content creation, outreach, which is client work, admin, because that's just a reality of it as a business owner, personal admin or personal things, buying birthday gifts or just, anything personal, and then downtime. And I actually block that into my calendar, those 5 areas, which might sound a bit structured for people, but if I give myself a Wednesday afternoon off, then I know that's downtime. In the morning, I'm really creative, Ali and Ron, like that's my time. So I'll normally do my content or my client stuff, versus later at night, or in the afternoon. That might be when you'll find me on a Facebook group chatting, because I can kind of do that, but don't have to bring all my energy to it.
One of my mentors from years ago in the internet marketing world, about closing the websites and things and the Facebook and all that, he said, he asks himself once in a while, what is my brain doing right now that's keeping me from being productive? And it's the truth. We get involved with, hey, I'll just check Facebook real quick, and next thing you know, it's 2 hours later, and you're drilling in and you're writing, and it's next thing you know, you're not productive at all for that 2-hour period of time.
It's so true. So yes, set a timer, and my favorite productivity tool, I'll share it with you here, is called Focus at Will. Now, I tell you, it's addictive. It's actually music. Now, some people might be saying, oh, Liz, but I listen to music when I'm working. But this music gets into the limbic system of your brain. And, guys, that's the part of your brain that's normally on the outlook for sex, food, and danger.
We're all downloading it now.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's music you listen to. And if you buy, there's a free version. It gives you about 60 minutes of music. And then there's a paid version. I think it's like less than 15 cents a month. But the music, and there's different types, chill or ambient, classical. So you can still customize a little bit to your style or what you're working on. Get you in the zone.
And that's focusatwill.com?
Yes, and you can have an app on your phone. The only gotcha is you must be connected to the internet. It's not like you could download it and be on it, when you're not on the internet. So,
okay.
But that's what I recommend. Pull that up, get that going. I have the paid version, so I use the timer for 25 minutes. I normally work 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. But in 2-hour blocks, though. Yeah.
I love that. I'll have to check that out. Do you never get obsessed? Do you never, like you say, you talk about these 2-hour blocks? I mean, I find that really hard. It's like, I'm going to set the time, I'm going to work 2 hours. Next thing I know, I'm so obsessed in what I'm doing that it's half the day gone already. Do you ever get like that?
I do get like that, and it can depend what you're working on. And, I say to my clients, like, it is about a season. You could be working on a specific launch or, a new book or, something's going on, and that's okay. It's just when the season goes on for 6 months or even 6 weeks and you really, you look around and you haven't been looking after your health or, or your family. So, I'm all about reality.
Haven't changed your clothes in 3 weeks because you're...
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
A question that I always like to ask, because I really think it's quite pertinent, is the fear. And, you talk about leaving your corporate world and you've got a steady job and you're making money at that, and then you're walking into the unknown. Isn't there a fear point for you? Isn't there something saying, ooh, I shouldn't be doing this, Did you ever have that?
Daily, yeah.
Daily?
I still do. I mean, the mind is always wanting to tell you some negative smack,
Yeah.
And I think fear is because one thing that I'm trying to do is get comfortable with the unknown. And so I've pitched to some successful entrepreneurs, and some responded back to me, some haven't. And you just don't know where it will lead you. But it's pretty fearful when you're putting yourself out there. Even now, yes, I've got money coming in. I've got people that believe in me, and I do have a community. But, you're still trying new things. And, a lot of the time, the truth is none of us know what we're doing. We're just, taking steps forward. So, yeah, I think it's a daily occurrence. I think the key is to get comfortable with the unknown and learn to quiet that voice in your head. I said quieten the voice because I don't believe you can ever get rid of it.
Right. Well, let's switch gears here just for a little bit. And, I had the pleasure of meeting you in Dallas this weekend for the Podcast Movement 2014, the very first Podcast Movement. It was really cool to meet you there. And you were actually a speaker, and it was this your first event? And if it was, tell us a little bit about that. And I know you spoke to women. Maybe you tell us about that experience.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really great opportunity, and that came about. I was on a panel talking to women in podcasting, really helping the voice for women as more women come into this whole podcasting medium or this audio on demand. So that was great to be there representing them. I was there more as a new person into this world. It's been, in September, will be a year. And I actually have 2 shows as well. So I've kind of embraced this whole podcasting because I love it. I had been to a number of conferences before because I'm a big believer in networking and the power of meeting people, as we talked about, face-to-face. And I'm sure that's helped me be chosen to be on that panel, as I knew a number of the people that were on the panel, or people that will organise the event, or other, people that were doing the keynotes. So again, it was definitely getting yourself out there, talking to people and sharing where you're at and what your story's about. So, I mean, it was great to be there, but I also came away from it realising or wanting to tell and inspire people that just because I'm up on stage doesn't mean you couldn't be either. You're just as successful. You're just as, you're doing something in your business. Even if you're just launching your podcast, you're doing something. You're not just talking about it. You're not sitting on the couch. So, yeah, it's great to look up to people and listen to them, but just also believe in yourself.
Yeah, and do you really believe that's the part, to be face-to-face, to go out networking, to go out meet people, get on forums, go out on the chat rooms? You think that's how to do this, yeah?
I think that's what works for me. I mean, there are introverts in this world, and, you need to be true to what works for you. I'm a little bit of an introvert, but I need some time back in my hotel room, but I was in sales, I can talk to people. I generally like people, all types of people. So that was what my mastermind group, because I joined a mastermind group to help, because I catapult my success, or my growth, I should say. They really made me clear that, Liz, that's your skill. You should be out in front of people. Other people, maybe not. Maybe there's another way they can, connect with people.
Absolutely. And, we talk, about the circles, the 2 circles. So if you can imagine a small circle, and then outside that circle, you see a bigger circle. A lot of people, and myself included, spend a lot of time in that small circle. That's your comfort zone, right? And the analogy is that you need to jump into the big circle, get out of your comfort zone, and do things like maybe speaking, or maybe not something that drastic if that's drastic for you, but get out there, and you'll find that you'll have a better feeling about yourself and who you become.
Get comfortable with the unknown. You got it, Ron.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a great phrase, get comfortable with the unknown, because that's generally not comfortable.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
At times, yeah.
I'm going to write that one down.
All right, Ali, I'll be checking in on you. Because I'm an accountability coach, so I'm all about keeping people accountable, so you watch out.
No, please, no.
It's now time for the lightning round, but before we do, let's thank our sponsors. If you are an online merchant, chances are you've heard of Terapeak. Terapeak helps online merchants like you by providing in-depth analytics to help you pull back the curtain on your competitors' behavior, pricing techniques and strategies, supply and demand, category and product trends, and customer purchase patterns. Sound intense? It is. Terapeak is the leader in e-commerce market analysis, dedicated to helping online merchants grow their business and become more profitable. How cool would it be if you could know the new and emerging opportunities? Terapeak delivers market intelligence that is both meaningful and actionable. Terapeak analyzes over 2.4 billion transactions per year. How many of those will be yours next year? After all, if your competitors see the value in Terapeak, shouldn't you? Go to www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/Terapeak to sign up today. This is where we'll ask you a series of questions here, and you can answer the questions as quickly as you want or as elaborate as you'd like to, okay?
Let's do it.
So what was your biggest fear of starting a business?
That people would laugh at me, that I wouldn't attract any clients, and I'd have to go back to my corporate job with my, tail in hand. Is that the right phrase?
That is one of the biggest, right? Because, when we work in a corporate job or we work in a factory or we work just in a construction site or wherever we're working, you get in a comfort zone working for somebody else and being their person, being whoever they want you to be. So now when you step out, the light seems to shine on you and everyone's looking at you. Are you going to be able to make it or not? And like you said, you may end up having to crawl back to the corporate boss and say, can I please have a job back, right? So, that is a very common fear.
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't sound nice at all. So what's one piece of advice you'd give someone just starting a business?
Believe in yourself. I mean, you've really got to believe in yourself. My favorite quote is, be yourself, everyone else is taken, by Oscar Wilde. And really
like
important. Yeah, it's a great one.
All right, so if given the chance to start all over, Liz, with the knowledge you have now of yourself and running a business or businesses in your case, what one thing would you do differently?
I would buy less courses and I would attend less webinars.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's great when you're starting out. There's a lot of things around to look at, but the truth is, get out there, talk to people. Yeah, I mean, buy some things. You could, need to learn about how to podcast. That's fine. But when you find you're starting to buy things and you're not actually implementing them or not completing them, or your calendar is full of 3 or 4 webinars, and you're not in the first month or 2 of your business, you're kind of into month 8 or 9, I would say step back and focus on what you're truly offering.
Yeah, that's great advice. Get back to basics.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started your first business, how much confidence did you have that you could really make money from it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I felt that I could make money, but I don't think I had confidence that it could be over 6 figures or any of that. I just think I could make enough money to survive. I was just confident that there was something else out there other than the corporate world for me. I think that was more what fueled me. I just felt I had a voice and something I wanted to share and help people with, and it wasn't working in the corporate world. So that was probably, what drove me. And maybe because I was lucky I had savings behind me, I didn't have children, I could sort of have more that belief that I was going to find what was out there for me versus, oh gosh, I'm going to start making, 30 grand a month, within 2 months' time or anything like that.
Sure.
So is that one reason that you did quit? Is you had that security net sitting there for you?
Yeah, I downsized my life about 2 years beforehand. In the back of my mind, I think I knew I wanted to leave the corporate world. I moved out of New York City to my little place on the Jersey Shore. So, I put steps in place to start that plan. I went back to New Zealand for 4 months once I first quit my job, just to, do a bit of travel because that's what Kiwis do and see family. And so,
and rugby.
Yep, that's right. I'll probably be in Thailand before you know it. So, yeah. So I had that kind of safety net, or just that was the path I was following.
All right, well, cool. So that kind of leads into the next question here, because we talk about research, right? I mean, everybody that starts a business ends up doing some kind of research, right? And you had a good, comfortable position as a salesperson in the corporate world, and, now you decided you want to do this, whatever this is for you when you step sideways. What research did you do to confirm that business would be profitable?
Good point. I had started about 6 months before I left my job to do a certification in a health coach. So, and part of that training was going through putting a business plan together and seeing if there was a client base out there. So I was going through that. I also enrolled in Marie Forleo's B School, business school, which helps you start the right business. There's a whole lot of questions about the right business and putting together an online business. So those were the things I was going through to truly see, does this work, this coaching, this online world? Because honestly, I'd worked for some of the largest computer companies. Yes, I actually did have a website, which is a little unusual, but really, the company took care of everything. I mean, I had no idea that people were so successful online. It just was a world I hadn't been exposed to.
Yeah, and they are. There's a lot of people who are.
It's amazing. It really opened my eyes. And for a while there, I was too busy just hearing and understanding who these people were, which was great and inspiring. But then there was a point where it's like, I've got to stop listening to them and start being my own voice.
Yeah, exactly.
What tools do you use? I mean, on your day-to-day business, you are running your empire here. We've heard of, what was it, Focus at Will.
Focus at Will.
Do you use any other tools to move you along here?
I do. I like tools. And when I work with clients, I figure out what type of person they are, because some people aren't, big into tools. But I use Asana as my project management tool with my virtual assistant. I use Basecamp between me and my lawyer. I have Wave as my financial accounting, very simple, but just can split my accounts up. Google Calendar, could not live without Google Calendar.
Oh, that's great.
It's so simple, but I love it. Dropbox, Google Drive, couldn't live without that, because I keep my laptop in the US. I have one down in New Zealand, so just Dropbox is all you need, and you're away and laughing. The other tools that come to mind, I really love Unroll.me. That keeps me honest around what newsletters I'm signed up to. So another productivity tip for you guys and your listeners is Unroll.me. You have no idea how many newsletters you're signed up to. It's very scary. So that helps with productivity. And Rescue Me is my other tool I use, which actually tracks. I haven't got into the paid version. It's just a very high level. It tracks my productivity and how many hours I spend on the computer a week, which can be quite scary. And,
Rescue Me actually watches how long you spend on the computer, did you say?
It does, yes. It will tell you if it's 50-hour week or 60 or 40. And it will kind of group what sites you're on, whether you're being productive. I think the paid version has a lot more smarts to it, but it's enough to think, oh, yeah, okay, there's some red here in this little email, this weekly email they send you. So, yeah. That's
like your mother watching you.
I know. So you've got to check if it works for you, because it is a bit of Big Brother watching you, but it is. It is interesting. So I use a lot of tools, but they're the ones that come to mind.
No, they've got some great tools there. I'm going to check out some of them. Thanks very much for letting the listeners know about all of that.
Sure.
Well, that's the end of the lightning round, and actually it's gone so quick. I can't believe how quick it's gone, but it's time to say goodbye. We'd like to thank our special guest, Liz Brazier, for taking the time to come join us today and share with you. I mean, it's great. This is one quote that I really like. Get comfortable with the unknown. I mean, wow. That's going to be one of my stickers on my computer today. It's been really great having you, Liz. Great listening to you and chatting to you.
Yeah, Liz, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. And if you're listening now and you have a question you'd like a guest to answer on our show, check the Ask the Experts section on our website.
We'll post all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/show notes/Liz Brazier. But before you go, Liz, please tell our listeners, how can they find you? What's the best way of contacting you?
The best way to contact me is to come over to liveyourlifenowshow.com and, connect with me there.
Live Your Life Now. Okay, we'll put that link into the show notes page so everyone can just click on it there for you. Well, again, thanks for all the information. We wish you continued success, Liz. For everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
So you're wondering how you can grow your business, yet your website is currently being hosted by one of those website-in-a-box sites. Or maybe you don't have a website. Well, if you're really serious about growing your business, then maybe it's time to get serious about who is hosting your website. Bluehost is your answer. At Bluehost, you get complete hosting solutions for as little as $4.95 per month. And while that is inexpensive, it certainly is not cheap. You get unlimited domain hosting, unlimited space, unlimited bandwidth, and much more. Bluehost has the top-rated 24/7 support team of real experts ready to offer real solutions and advice. And if that weren't enough, at Bluehost, you will never sign a contract. Go to www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/Bluehost today and take your business to a whole new level.
Well, that's a wrap to another awesome show. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes at soyouwantasellonebay.com/iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at Your eBay Podcast and Facebook at So You Want to Sell on eBay. And we can always be found at www.soyouwantasellonebay.com. eBay.com.